Hello world, how are you? We have some Q&A to do. I hope you're doing fine, 'cause it's Q&A time again. Hello world, how's it going? Hope you guys are all doing well. Live stream does alright down here where we're at here in the other side of the fish room. Or fish house, or whatever you want to call this place. I don't even know where to put this. This chair sits way high too. I should have probably tested all this stuff, but I didn't. Been scrambling on getting here. See if I can change that light. Sure can't. Man, that is bright. But hello everybody in the chat. Glad y'all in here. Hello, hello, hello. Look at these rainbow fish back here. Man, why is that gotta be so bright? Ooh, that looks good. That looks pretty good right there. How about that? I'll just slump low here. Hello, hello, hello. See lots more awesome people rolling in here. But glad to be here near the rainbow fish tank for once in a long time. But hope you guys are all having a great week and hope your weekend gets better. If not, says hello world, how are you? David, I hope you're doing well. So welcome to another Friday Night Live Q&A where you can ask the aquarium community and I questions on keeping freshwater fish, shrimp, and plants. And if I don't know the answer, somebody in the chat should hopefully probably know the answer. Because obviously you can't know it in this hobby. You could do this hobby for 100 years and there's a bazillion ways to do it. So we're all trying to help each other the best. And thank you, Lady LRB, for reminding me about top chat and live chat. Roberto Pagan says, hey, what happened with that big play Ted tank that sprung a leak? Oh, so the 240 gallon, still have it. I have a plan for it too. I want to turn it up on its side and make a terrarium out of it. Maybe do a paludarium since I'll have enough depth with it as well. So we'll see. I have a pretty cool plan for it though, and it's going to sit right next to a whole new system. I'm going to sit right next to a 210. Should be some cool stuff coming up with all that. Just got to get it all moved. Mark Bockwell says, does beneficial bacteria die at high temperatures? So its metabolism definitely speeds up, so you'll have more regeneration of bacteria, but I don't think it will die. It all depends on how high of a temperature you're talking about. Because even in the ocean where you have those hot vents, there's all kinds of bacteria and stuff that can live in that scalding hot water as well. So it all depends. There may be different sorts of bacteria that will live at those sorts of temperatures. But as far as beneficial bacteria, I mean, as long as you're not over 120, you should be alright. Total Tropicals TV says, what's up, Mr. Placo? Glad you came across that song there, Total Tropicals. Where the funk you at? If you guys haven't heard Mr. Placo, it was a collaboration I did with Schwisky, also known as Jimmy Gimbal now, and Aquarium Co-op. It was fun. It was a good time. It was pretty clowning. But it's a short music video. Where's the song? Just LRB, just type in on YouTube LRB Mr. Placo, and it'll pop up on you. Do I keep pea puffers? Asked David. So no, I've kept them multiple times, but they can be very territorial. Definitely a community only. I've tried to breed them a few times. I haven't had any success with it, so I just kind of moved them out of the fish room. They can be picky eaters as well. They just didn't fit the scheme of my fish room for right now. Maybe one day I'll get back into them, trying to breed them, because they are kind of like on my bucket list breed. List. Roberto Pagan says, were you able to save all your plants? As far as which plants, I'm not sure. Oh, for that tank, for that 240, yeah. I was, actually. I spread them all around. A big sword's actually in a 75 in the guest bedroom over here. Oh, and I guess my new video, some of you guys were a little squeamish on with the fish bass. I'm worried that it was stressing them out a lot. Like, even that heavy breathing that you get from, that I got from the fish bath, that you could see them breathing heavy. It doesn't matter how you transfer a fish. Anytime you have a fish being moved, they're going to breathe heavy. They're going to stress out. Just like most human beings, they have a fear of the unknown, so they're going to show it. And once I got them into their QTs, they're all fine. So people don't worry, those fish were fine. I've done that. I've been doing that for a long time, and it really, really does make a difference. Wanted to get that out of there. And Ty Horton, thank you so much for the support. Throwing down $10 super chat. Says, hey Lucas, do you have issues with evaporation since your tanks are open top? Do you use dehumidifiers? If so, do you notice them causing your tanks to evaporate faster? Thanks. So Ty, definitely they'll evaporate faster, especially if you have the fan directed towards your aquarium. I always make sure my dehumidifier fans are directed away from my aquariums, and of course I get quite a bit of evaporations, a lot more than if I would have tops on. But I don't really mind it because it forces me to do water changes, or it actually forces me to refresh their aquarium as well. And I do have 5 different dehumidifiers running around the house in different sectors just to keep the humidity down. It's a bit of a battle, but we do our best. And yeah, it'll make a difference. But thank you, Ty. Hope that helps. And appreciate you and your support, brother. Chris J 2017, thank you so much for the $10 super chat and the support as well, brother. Thank you. Says, just got the lady friend her first tank for some white type endlers. So hyped. That is awesome, Chris. And you got your lady friend into it. Congratulations to you, bro. That is most guys' dreams. You're a lucky man. And thank you so much for the support and for ordering. And yeah, thanks, bro. Appreciate you. And who's in Ginger? Is that, or who? Which Ginger? Is this in Ginger or Ginger Graves' birthday? Oh, it's so hard. Oh, Ginger Graves. Happy birthday, Ginger. Hope it's going great. Glad to see you in here. All right, scrolling for those questions. Are we seeing a new tank? You're not in the usual spot. So, yeah, many of you guys, I don't know. I've been in that garage for a long time. Many of you guys may not even realize I have a whole lot more aquariums besides in the garage. Then we got more on over here as well. But I am on the other side of the fish room house, or whatever you want to call this place. And these are my old-time rainbows here. I've had these things for quite some time now. These are all rare species, all rare breeds. Cichlids 23, only 300 aquariums, right? I think, I don't know, somewhere around there. It depends on how you count them. If you count those little containers that I have, I could probably reach well over 300. But if it's actual just like glass aquariums, 10 gallons and above, probably around 200 or so. So there's a lot I mess with around here. And sorry if I'm missing any of you guys' questions. I do my best to try to speed read this and pick up the questions. Definitely helps when you throw in the question marks or at LRB. Good day from Australia. Ask Craig, what's your drink for tonight, mate? Oh, it's kind of boring. I'm just drinking the old H2O like these fish. Sticking to the water. I need to try to quit drinking so much pop. It's just drags me down. Drags me down. I've been battling with my energy levels lately. Alec the Nye says, is mixing aquarium moss species bad? Yeah, I prefer not to mix the mosses because just whenever you move them around, even fish will move them around. It only takes little bits and pieces to get caught up in each other and they can mix. And when they start mixing, then it's just kind of like if hair algae were to get into it. and it could also make it prone to get hair algae as well, because the mosses can start battling against each other, causing them to weaken one another to where hair algae will start getting in the middle of them. It's funny, Wallace Ball says, "Where are you at?" Oh no, that's lame. I think he might have been talking to somebody else. Phil Queasy says, "Is it unrealistic to make a strain starting from feeder guppies? How long do you think it would take?" No, not unrealistic. You could. I've had some projects where it's just been pretty much impossible to like try to capture that gene, or it's been a lot of work. Like I've got this white endler I've been trying to nail down for quite some time. Haven't really got very far on it at all. I've got quite a few white endlers, but as far as like any stability within the line, it hasn't been that hard. But when it comes to my newest recent strain, the purple koi platinum guppies, they were a cross between the red and black kois. The female was a red and black koi, and then the male was a platinum fancy tail guppy. And the first two generations solid. So as far as a mix, they kind of created like this purple platinum guppy. Really, really, really neat. Purple's kind of a rare color in guppies as well, so I was really surprised to find that. Same with my rainbow tiger endlers. They were kind of like one and done. They just landed straight. So it could always it could vary. It really depends, and really hard knowing unless you're like some genetic expert that knows how to manipulate that kind of stuff. And even still, genetics can mutate and change on you. Like we think about ourselves as only having so many types of DNA and all that, and there's all kinds of other bacteria in us that lives within inside of us as well, that has thousands more types of genetics and genes than we do as humans, but yet they are still part of us. So how's that really work? Just kind of some weird stuff there. Question, is 79 to 80 degrees okay for a Blue Dream tank? It is preferred to keep them towards the lower 70s. 79 to 80 is kind of towards the warmer side. You can keep them that warm. I got shrimp in my garage that are running about 84, 86 degrees. But the thing is, their metabolism goes a lot faster, so they're going to grow a lot faster, and they can easily burn themselves out or go cannibal if they don't get enough food. And sometimes they won't breed as much when it is warmer. I do get more breeding out of the low 70s. Ty Ordo says, you have a rainbow in one of your tanks that is bright yellow and orange and almost glowing on camera. What is it and where can I find them? Let's spin around here and look at some rainbows, see if we can get a better picture. Because, yeah, these rainbows are much better looking than I am. And let's see if it's this one you're talking about. And this is one of the coolest ones, too, in my opinions. This is the Upper Tor River. I don't know if this is the one you're talking about. Kind of orangish, yellowish. It can actually turn, like, pretty much almost all white. But then it can also turn almost all black. So you can see this one's kind of got darker color. Well, move, guy. This one's kind of got darker color here. Rainbow fish can talk with colors. This is a Cali rum. But that's an Upper Tor species, Chilothernia. Pretty rare. You can't just get those. Those are probably one of my rarest. Okay. Or Texas says, I think he's talking about the Millennium Rainbow fish. That would be the xanthic form of Millennium Rainbow. So Millennium Orange Albino Rainbow fish would be that one, if it is what he's talking about. LRB, have you had success breeding M. parva? I have. Good coverage on the top and bottom with plants, either pearlweed or moss or something. Even algae. Good food, always does it. I would say keep it towards the high 70s. You can even go into the low 80s. Still one of my all-time faves. Millennium, or Goldie Idakai. Melanitania. Man, I'm all kinds of tongue-tied. Nathan Hudo says, I have a 75-gallon aquarium. Has a turtle with nitrates over 160 and water changes don't really help. I have a filter rated for 100 gallons. It eats any plants I put in. Do you have any suggestion? So if you're running a filter, I don't know if you can make possibly a aquaponics system or something of the sort for your filter. You could put pothos in it and it'll help pull out those nitrates. Really what's probably going on, and as well, if you keep your filter real dirty, so if you over clean your sponge filter, that can cause a lot of problems too, because you don't have that layer of beneficial bacteria in there to exchange those nitrates. You want that nitrite, why in the heck can I pull that word out of nitrifying bacteria to take care of those nitrates. So the more you have of that beneficial bacteria, the more of those nitrates you can balance out. So careful keeping your foam too clean. Matter of fact, I got a filter from 2017 upstairs that I've had running since and have never cleaned it, and that tank is absolutely pristine. Filter is really not that dirty either. It's kind of crazy. So hopefully that helps you out and helps deal with those nitrates, because yeah, you want that beneficial bacteria to help with that. How do you do a gravel vac with baby shrimp in the tank? Been struggling. So if you have a lot of mulch or something sitting on top of sand or substrate with shrimp, what you could do is get the hose, and I'd take off that big gravel vac. So if you got one of them big old honking gravel vac things, I would take that off firsthand. Just use the hose. That way I got the hose. I use these nylon, or no, these are vinyl hoses. You can get quite a few feet for pretty cheap, a lot cheaper than the nylon. And what I'll do is I'll get my fingers in there, kind of swirl it up, kick it up, make sure I just kind of boo-whap all the shrimp out of my way, and make a whole shenado and pull out the mulch that way if I do have too much building up on me, but usually not too much of an issue. And with like the little babies, what I do, once I get my hand in there, you can kind of scare them back. It doesn't take much to get them to move back or scare them back out of the way. But if it's just the time I need to deal with that, I'll just pull from the water column, and it's a lot easier that way. There's a lot of bitty babies. Look, the closer you look in, it doesn't look like there's much in there. Then you just keep going in. Soon there's a bunch. These guys. This log is the biggest reason why there's a lot of algae in here. The organics that break down from this log, because it's just a soft floating one, shouldn't even be in there. There's a nice duplicarius. But it breaks down so many organics into the aquarium. I got a rock holding it down. But yeah, it looks like we got kicked off there looking at the shrimp. Might have to be careful here. Being over here, it gets a little iffy. It was a gamble trying it for you guys, but I know it's been a while, and wanted you guys to check it out. It'd be a nice change. All right, Joel Gus says, don't beneficial bacteria make nitrate? Only water changes or plants remove it? No, that's why they call it nitrifying bacteria, because it takes care of your nitrates. It nitrifies it. Turns it into nitrite, I believe. ELR says, do Sawali breed with just sponge filter? What is the best temp? So the hill stream loaches, they can breed with just a sponge filter. They could possibly breed even without a sponge filter. As far as what is the best temp, I'm not really sure. And the same with the pH or type of water, whether hard or soft. I don't know. I really haven't solidified that information into my brain. So if anybody can help ELR with that, that'd be great. I haven't seen any breeding from mine. Mine are still doing well. I do finally have them by themselves. They did have Danios in their tank for a long time. So I had to get that taken care of. Now that that's taken care of, hopefully I'll start seeing some babies. Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, brother. Appreciate you. Says, woke up to leaking 10-gallon shrimp tanks and wet floors. LOL. Oh, man. I've had quite a few mornings like that. I know the feeling, and I feel your pain, brother. But I hope you get it cleaned up, get that floor nice and clean. That's always the good thing about it. You always come up with a clean floor. Hopefully it's not carpet like most of mine is. But good luck, and sorry to hear that. But thanks for the super chat. Aquatic Ma, glad to see you in here again. Hope you're doing well. Saw you were throwing out more videos. Glad to see that. Says, howdy, howdy. Well, howdy do to you, Aquatic Ma. Nice to see you in here again. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Without your guys' super chats, YouTube wouldn't love me as much. Mark Bockwell, do you dislike any type of fish? Ooh, that's a good question. I would say if I had to dislike a fish, I'd probably go with the Chinese algae eater. Just because they can be a real pain. They're just mean sometimes. But if you got them in the right aquarium, they can be helpful and do some work for you. So I can't dog them too much. But in my personal experience, the one that gave me the roughest time was the Chinese algae eater. Especially if you want to get them out of your tank and it's a big planted tank. It's pretty much impossible. Nerdy Fish, Aquatic Ma, OGs in the house, right? There's a lot of OGs in the house here. I love it. I've known a lot of you guys for quite some time. You guys are like family anymore. I know my demeanor has changed with you guys, because usually it takes me a little bit to warm up to people in real life. A little more introvert than extrovert. Until I get to know you, then I become a little more extrovert. That's when I got energy too, though. Dan Medina says, will neon Tetris thrive in 8.2 pH hard water? Thrive? Possibly, yeah. I've heard of people breeding them in neon, the neon Tetras in high pHs. So it's not impossible, especially now these days. They've made those neon Tetras pretty much foolproof. Night Rider says, I dislike live bearers, the birth process, and fish form freaks me out. Egg layers only. That's funny. Well, thanks, Mr. Rolling Stone. All right, I am at the bottom of the chat. Well, hello, New Zealand. Hello, James. Anonymous Aquarium Lover says, how's the pond coming along? The pond is coming along pretty stagnantly. So right now, we're actually just trying to work things out. I got a hold of Chris Yax, who's my master aquascaper, that I am doing a collaboration with, as well as Greg Woodstock and his business Aquascape, to really get this done right. Because, I mean, I could do it, but I can't do it like they can do it. So what ended up happening was, I'm, of course, watching a bunch of pond videos, pond build videos on YouTube, because, I mean, that's what we do. We watch videos on YouTube to figure this stuff out. And, you know, you got Greg Woodstock and all his stuff that he does, and I keep watching these, I'm just like, man, I could do this, but I can't. I don't think, to do it like they do it the first time and do it right. And it's a big project. I want to make sure it gets done right the first time. I had to hit them up. I had to hit them up, and they've been absolutely awesome. We've been working some stuff out, and he should be hitting me up on Monday, and should be finding out a little more then. And you guys will definitely be notified and informed as it goes by. And I do still got a lot of footage that I've been holding on to as well for it. So we'll still have all that coming out. There's so many projects that are about to get cleaned up and finalized here towards the end of August and beginning in middle of September. That is going to make a big difference with a lot of things. So I'm pretty excited about it. All right. John Gonzalez, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, I have a pair of blue Galaris. They are full grown a couple months ago. They will not spawn any tips. Also amazed they are such a personable fish. Now, if you can get a hold of any blackworms, separate them. Feed them some blackworms. Feed them some hearty food. Maybe some bloodworms probably help. Really helps to keep them separated for a little while. That way the female can get nice and eggy. So she'll just hold those eggs. And then by the time that you stick them together, they should just be ready to go. And she'll be ready to throw them out. And he'll be ready to see her. And that should help you out. So hopefully that does help you, John. And thank you so much for the support. Appreciate you. Man, these upper tours are going crazy. Love these things. Kaylor's Aquatics. Bob, thank you so much, Kaylor's Aquatics. Throwing down the $5 super chat. Says, LRB, I have Goldie Eye from a second collection point now from Dan's Fish. Very similar fish, but still juveniles. Interesting. He's got some Goldie Eyed Kai. Nice. More people that have these fish, the better. Because what happens if I'm not able to breed these or Gary's not able to breed these? It can be problematic for these fish and everybody else. Eric McMurtry throwing down the $5 super chat. Thank you, Eric. Says, love these live streams and vids. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. Streetwise. Oops, hit the alert. Okay. Again, sorry if I'm missing your guys' questions. These are really cool too. The Bowman Eye. Very underrated and unknown for a rainbow fish. Hopefully you're going to be setting up my systems here soon to get more rainbow fish breeding. LRB, do you breed rice fish and do you sell any? So I've been working on breeding some. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with them. Like I'll get a few babies here and there, but I haven't also directed much attention towards breeding them. That's been the hardest part. Lately I've been working on breeding projects a lot more. And yeah, I just didn't earlier, and now I'm trying to get back to that point. It's just hard keeping up with all these water changes and then all the moving of fish around and everything else. It's a lot of work. And last fish room tour I had, I was in the guest bedroom and I was talking about a tetra being up in this tank or up in one of those containers, and I was like, oh, he's missing. Well, he ended up jumping in that 75-gallon, and everybody was like, R.I.P., little buddy. And he's actually now here in this 125. He's been in here for a long time. I just now remembered that whenever I saw him. But that dude is still alive. Little ramblage there for you. Tater Salad says, in regards to your outdoor tubs, what is the lowest temperature you have had in the tubs? I have had it underneath 32 degrees. And golden white clouds were in that. That was probably be the lowest. Or Synodontis breeding in a community tank. So yeah, as far as my Synodontis, they don't actually like have any babies usually within here. Hopefully we don't drop the internet. You can kind of see them coming out. I'm about to redo this tank. I was thinking about putting them with the barbs. I mean, you can keep these with cichlids, so they're usually pretty tough fish. I don't know though. I'll have to like start with a couple. But I want to redo this tank. I think just because I would like to see them more. But whenever I braid them with my little contraption that has the bowl and then the top, which if you guys haven't seen it, look into my fish breeding playlist and you will be able to find that. But they'll throw a ton of eggs. I'm surprised these endlers haven't just blown up in here either. I think they have to be eating their babies. Because, yeah, there's a ton of guppy grass in there. Ton of guppy grass. That's why guppy grass is only $3 each on the website. That's why I'm selling it cheap. Because I got a lot of it. And thank you all for your orders, too. Thank you all for your orders this last week. Lots of big orders. Oh, there's a half beak. Just trying to get them to breed in here. Man, I got some wild endlers and guppies and stuff going right now, too. I got into that pond. So I recently added pond guppies to the website. And I haven't been into that pond to look at what has actually spawned in there or what has actually bred in there. And oh my God, is it insane. Let me try to get that light better. Oh well. But some of you guys may have saw the story for them. I've got a few that I had to pull for projects just because they're just too beautiful to refuse. And man, I'm excited to get in there again this next week. I need to do an update video for you guys. Hopefully soon I'll pull out another net of it. I know at least on Tuesday I'm going to have to. But yeah, I got to show you guys those things. They are insane. So I took all my rare types and then I just let them go for a whole year in that big wishbone pond. And they definitely mixed around. Which was cool. Alright, back to questions. And sorry once again if I am missing your stuff. Anonymous Aquarium Lover says, can you ship merch or anything down under? I believe my Teesprings does ship internationally. I think to Australia. I could be wrong. You'd have to check on Teesprings. Oh my, David Samsell, thank you so much for the membership. I appreciate that. And I am trying to bring some more value to you members as well. Recently they were notified with a couple videos of all the new fish that was coming in, and I do want to start giving you guys first notice and first dibs and all that once again, since I appreciate all your help and you guys really do make a difference in the growing of this channel and this hobby and what we all do and what we all share here on this channel. So I gotta thank you. And let's see, Tyler Fuston, glad to see you in here, brother. Throwing down a $10 super chat, says, it's been a while since I've been able to watch live. Just wondering if you know the best way to disconnect a canister filter from an aquarium without making a huge mess. Much love from West Virginia. So usually, especially with the newer filtration systems, they'll have a clamp or a valve on the ends of their hose for the intake, so you usually have to just push something down, a lever down. It shuts the valve and then you can kind of pull it out. If you don't have that, the best thing to do is pull out your intake and your outtake up out of the water. Maybe get yourself a 5-gallon bucket, maybe 2 of them. That way you can throw your hoses into one, let the water run out of the hoses that way. And then while your filter's in the other bucket, you don't have to worry about it back flushing out or anything. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, definitely glad to see you in here, Tyler. hopefully you got one of those valves on your filter and it doesn't have to be too much of a pain. I know those Fluval's are real good as far as with those valves and having those. Even the Sunsun, cheap Sunsuns, I believe, have those as well. Well, thank you again for the support and the super chat. And Tater Salad, thank you so much for the DKK. I'll take some crones. Thank you, brother. It says, thank you for being you. Learned a lot following you. Well, that's what I'm here for. If I was doing this by myself, it'd all be in vain if people could not learn from it. So I appreciate your support and I appreciate your appreciation of it. And I'm glad that you have learned a lot. Kaler's Aquatics throwing down the $5 super chat again. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you, brother. Says LRB, the Goldie Eye dance fish had are sold out now. Are wild caught from different location site other than Decay. Okay. I think Gary was talking about this one time, and that's why he mentioned the Melanitania Goldie Eye Decay have to be pronounced with the Decay because you can't get other Goldie Eye because the Goldie Eye is more or less the collector or what the collector guy's name. Kind of like how there's a bunch of let's throw a name. Why do I got so many brain farts? Wow, really? Well, Gary Langley Eye. So let's say he found something somewhere else and he could name it Langley Eye, but name it from wherever it came from. So it's not quite the same as this fish, I'm sure. Now, if it were to look like that fish and come from a different place, that would be interesting. But still interesting nonetheless. I am curious to what exactly he does have. I'm guessing you got some, Bob. Whenever they do grow out, Bob, let me know. I would love to see what they look like. Well, B Mellow, thank you so much for becoming a new subscriber. I appreciate you. Once again, sorry if I missed anybody's question here. I'm doing my best. Oops. Somebody threw me a tip jar, too. I was trying to see what the name was. I wanted to give them a shout out. Alright, not seeing any questions. I'm either reading too fast. And if you got a question, throw that question mark behind it, because if I do not see that question mark behind it, it's so much harder to tell. Ram Santiago says, how are the Rams? You shocked me with the sink wash trick. Now I'm looking into C blocks. You rock. Carbon blocks, definitely recommend those for your fish if you have them. For water changing, everything makes everything so much easier because you don't have to worry about the mixing and the cycling of your dechlor and all that stuff. And causing your fish stress between all the recycling of that new water that you do in water changes. Definitely recommend those carbon blocks. And that fish bath stuff, man, it really, really does help with keeping the crud out. Like somebody said in the comments, dilution is the solution to pollution, and it's so true. Jamie House says, dream fish to breed next. Dream fish to breed next. I really need to get breeding those hill trouts. I would love to breed those. I'd like to breed more of the barbs. I've bred them, but I haven't like really sustainably bred them. Hopefully with the new tanks that I'll be getting, I can maybe make that more of a possibility and a dream come true. Let's see. Redneck Aquatics, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Redneck Aquatics. Says, it's been a little bit since I watched your video. Whatever happened with the 240? Did you get it fixed? So I did not fix it. It's still broken. I'm going to end up putting it up on its side. I'll probably get a 210 for next to it, and then I'm going to build a big kind of like fry rack grow out system for a bunch of little babies I plan on breeding. rainbow fish growing. So I plan on doing something cool with it, even though it is busted. Because where it's busted on the bottom, it's going to be really, really hard to seal properly. Not really worth the time or effort. And I could still, whenever I flip it, I could still turn it into a paludarium that I could still have like maybe 2 feet of water. Maybe get some frogs going and stuff. I think that'd be really cool. Peplin Creek Aquatics, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was thinking about doing a membership drive video here soon too, just to let everybody know about getting first dibs and all that stuff for becoming a member. And first notification. Like, I hate to separate people, like, just because of money, but at the same time, they're willing to give me some of their hard-earned money to help support what I do and the channel and everything else. So I do feel obligated that I have to give back some value to that appreciation, you know. And that's what I'm trying my best to do here, more and more as I get organized. And you guys, some of my members may have already been noticing that lately. Guillermo says, will pygmy rainbows ever be back in stock? My dream fish. You know what? I really hope so one day. I've only got a couple of them. If I'm lucky, I can get some more from Gary. But I do need to get back into them. I've had so many people asking me about those pygmy rainbow fish. The only reason why I quit breeding them was the fact that they did start getting into mainstream more. It seems like they may not be in mainstream now as much, which makes me kind of regret not holding them as well as I have. But I've also learned a lesson that even if there is a rainbow fish that is hot for the year, really taking off, that it may not still always be manageable and maintained throughout the years. Chris Trapp, thank you so much for becoming a member and all your awesome orders and support. I appreciate you, Chris. And I have noticed, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How's the backyard lazy river working out? Man, I so wish it could be a lazy river, but he'll be done hopefully by the end of September. I don't know exactly when the deadline date is because we've ran into some engineering issues on how we're gonna deal with things, because I really want to keep koi out there, and I can't without capping this big storm drain, so I've got to reroute all this storm water. And that's become kind of a project within itself. So we're trying to work all those kinks out, and trying to. I can't wait. I just can't wait. Soon, hopefully. Tater Salad, thank you so much for becoming a member as well, Tater Salad. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of new members. That is awesome. Thank you, guys. Get me all tongue-tied over here. Showing me your love. Chris J 2017 again with the super chat, throwing down $2. Says, any tips for growing Rotalia colorata? So it's not too picky as far as water hardness or softness. And as far as light, it needs moderate to high light to really get going. If you do use a fertilizer, it definitely helps bring out more color and helps it grow more. And if you want to know what I feed my plants in as far as fertilizers, I do have a video on how I do all that, where I make my own macro and micro solution, and it's worked wonderful for me. You know, if I was a business, I'd bottle that up and sell it to you guys. But really, you guys can make it on your own. NiloCG.com is where I get it, and he's even got other formulas on there. I've just kind of made my own formula that works well for what I do and what I understand for my tanks. Hope that helps you, Chris. Thank you so much for the super chat again. Buffalo Row, thank you for the support, brother. And always great to see you in here. Throwing down $15. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Says, what are your upgraded shipping options? Priority is 5 days from you at the moment. Delays for USPS here for the near future. So far we haven't really seen any issues. Like, they may say 5 days, and really, to be honest, 5 days for my fish and shrimp really isn't much stress on them. Like, I've had many throughout history that have gone 7 days, multiple weeks, or even months, and still come in fine. So, I don't know. Maybe we should think about that, though, and add an express option. We recently just did a big upgrade within our business and getting our whole order structure redone to where it will save us some time, because orders have just been getting to high enough volume that it's just been forcing new changes. So we're excited about that being done this week, and it might not be that hard to really add some express in as far as the new shipping options. So hopefully Lady RB's still listening, and she can write that on a list, but we'll look into it. We'll keep everybody updated too. Like, if USPS starts becoming an issue with shipping, obviously we're not going to use it and it's not going to work. But until then, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so far it hasn't been broke for us, and everything's been shipping great. And hopefully they quit messing around with USPS, because it's all fun and games till they mess around with USPS. Then I got a problem, because we got to get these fish and shrimp out to you guys. USPS is like the major line to that. I couldn't imagine using FedEx or UPS. That just seems scary to me, just because I've just heard so many horror stories. Guillermo Escobar, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, purple koi guppies came in healthy, just got blue dreams as well. Well, thank you, Guillermo Escobar, for all your support and all your orders. They have definitely been appreciated and noticed for sure. Thank you, and yeah, I hope those purple koi guppies get to breeding for you soon, because I really love those guppies. They're pretty neat, especially if you get a nice light on top of them. Ty Horton, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate you, Ty. Thank you so much. And let's see. Logan Sanford says, how long do I have to wait until my rainbows are huge? So water changes always help. More water volume that you can exchange, the faster they will grow, for sure. Definitely, no doubt in my mind. Because normal water change schedule in like an aquarium like this, you can get them to about yay big in about a year. But if you have a huge pool pond like Ohio Fish Rescue, you can get them to about yay big in like 4 months, just because of water volume. But to get them to this size, you're looking at a few years, 2 to 3 years at least. So it takes some time to really get them beastly like that. And let's see, Tyler Fuston, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Support again, appreciate you. Says, by the way, don't stop the live streams every week. So it would be really, really hard for me to leave you guys hanging on a Friday night live. It would be super hard. And you guys noticed too, like, even when I went to the island and all that, and we were looking for houses and stuff, like, I even brought you guys along for that. Even though I knew it was going to be the worst service, I knew it was going to be like the crappiest quality of video, I still did not want to leave you guys hanging. So I will do my best to never let that happen. If I don't make it on a Friday night live Q&A, you guys might have to start worrying. But I want to do my best to be here for you guys, because I appreciate you guys and your guys' support. Like, I don't plan on leaving you. But thank you, Tyler. Thank you. Knight Rider says, we use UPS, really good, way less delays. Interesting. Isaac Cornstable says, does anyone know the difference between Italian Val and Jungle Val? Getting some for my 56-gallon tall. So yeah, big difference. Italian Val stays a lot thinner, can stay shorter, doesn't grow as fast. It can get fairly tall, but not quite like Jungle Val. Jungle Val, it will just explode. That stuff can get over 6 foot long. Easy. Easy. I've pulled some out of tanks out of 20-gallon highs taller than I am, which is crazy. So Jungle Val will explode. Italian Val, a lot more manageable. Let's see. Tater Salad, thank you so much again for the support. Giving me these crones again. I'll stuff those away. Appreciate it. Shout out to the mods. Love ya. Yes, shout out to the mods. Good thinking, Tater Salad. I like your style. I like your style. Yes, thank you so much to the mods. These mods have been helpful for a long time. They are the greatest. Let's see. Candy says, can we please get more likes, right, Candy? Thank you. Appreciate you. And Buffalo Row, thank you so much for becoming a member, Buffalo. Thank you. Well, not a whole lot of questions. I guess that's a good thing. Stephen N says, what plants do you have that grow up and out of your tanks? A lot of them. You could almost pretty much do it with most aquarium plants, because most aquarium plants aren't truly aquatic. They really just live in flood plains and areas and can live underwater and out of water. So to even ramble off the list, I mean, you look into all your Luigias, all your Rotalias, Lymphonophilias, pretty much all your stem plants. You can do with some mosses. You can do with hydrocotyls. Crypts are a little harder. You could do it, but they kind of need a little humidity. Bushas and Anubias are kind of hard because you need humidity. But really, a lot of your stem plants. Let's see. Craig Broderick says, it's Saturday morning here in Australia. I don't have nothing to listen to, so my Friday night live streams are actually Saturday morning in Australia. That's good to know. So should I come on in the beginning in my best Aussie voice and sing a song about Saturday morning? That's cool to know, though. I really would love to go to Australia someday. That has always been on my bucket list. Always. My whole entire life. Just never have had the opportunity. How often should you change driftwood? I don't know. I've never, changed driftwood just because of... Yeah, I just usually leave it in there forever. Unless I get tired of the scape or the display, then I'll change it. Or I'm trying to catch fish around them. Click the lurk. They do need a lurking button to just let people know how many are lurking. B. Houdini says, I have some bloodfin tetras displaying breeding behaviors. Females look heavy with eggs for 2 months now. Any reason they might not be scattering the eggs? Once again, somebody was talking about their Galaris, their blue Galaris killifish not spawning. With tetras, I've learned as well as the killifish, it helps to separate the males and females for a while. So if you separate them and then put them back together, they should trigger a scattering. Water changes usually help trigger a scattering too, and if they do it, it'll be in the morning. They could still be doing it and you not even be noticing it, because they can do it quickly. Try that out. Hopefully that helps. Softer pH. With the blood fins, though, I don't think it really matters with hardness. So I'm pretty sure I know some people have bred them in hard water. But I don't know what your water's like. Rainwater always helps trigger Tetris too, I know that much. So anytime you can soften it up a little bit, it does trigger them, even if they are hard water Tetra. Trey Rubency, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Says, how long before you expect to see pregnant black bar endlers? Watching and waiting. So I got a few building up and growing out. Chattanooga Ed was here last weekend, and he actually picked up a couple pair. So he kind of knocked me down a few. But if you really, really want them, hit up Sarah on our contact us. Her email is orders, I believe, orders.lrbaquatics@gmail. And she can probably take care of you. Now, I don't have a whole lot to be able to do that with, but I can probably take care of you with that. And B and J and David Palmer family, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. That is awesome. Man, I am exhausted, you guys. I'm so glad it's the weekend. I gotta get up early and build this stone wall, though. Work on that backyard. Get her done. Man, no questions here. Scrolling. LRB, you got any parva rainbows? So I do have parvas. I got some really nice parvas. I need to pull them out of their tank and get their babies going, but I don't have no tanks to put them in. Even with all these tanks, I still do not have enough tanks. I don't think I could ever have enough tanks. Maybe one day. Oh, we're about at the hour mark. That went quick. Let's see. I am at the bottom of the chat. Man, I always get that backwards, Candy. Thank you for posting that. I am at the bottom of the chat, so if you got that question, now is the time to throw it down. Cichlids23, will Gertrude eggs be noticeable in a mob or teeny? Or are they teeny tiny? You can notice them. I mean, it all depends on your vision. So I can't speak for everybody. But if you look close enough, you can see them for sure. The best thing to do is put them on the bottom and the top, as far as giving them options to spawn on. But sometimes they can be picky. I won't lie. The smaller, like pseudomagulls, can be really picky on breeding sometimes. Todd Horton says, do you have issues with fish jumping with the open top tanks? Do the floating plants help to alleviate this? Floating plants do help alleviate that for sure. A lot of predation for fish come from the top of the water and birds and stuff like that. So anytime you can put some kind of coverage up top always makes your fish feel less stressed, which means they're less likely to jump. And once in a while it'll happen. That's why I got 5 cats. I'm just kidding. But yes, once in a while it does happen. Very rarely though. These rainbows here, they got a top on them. They're just too rare and wily. And where they're at, same with the barbs. If I just know there's too much of a chance for them to jump, then I will definitely put a top on. Same with like all the... Oh wait, I can't talk about those. Never mind. Damn, that's for members. Members will know. Do you use crushed coil? Fierce Wolf says, do you use crushed coral along with your remineralization and RO setup? So I don't use crushed coral. I think I have some down here. Let's see, is this it? Yeah, Nilo CG GH booster. This is what I use to remineralize my RO water. Or at least used to. I don't even use this anymore. What I use is my tap water. Now I just do like a 50-50 blend. Depending. Because, I mean, I got enough mineralization through my tap water. Having super hard water, there's no point in me really dosing and buying mineralization. But I do get all my other fert and fish plant food there. Alright, who wants to feed some rainbow fish here? I'm going to jump off these questions. Or, well, last one for Sean here. Tomlinson. It says, how long does it usually take for rainbow fish to get to breeding maturity? Thanks. Less than a year. It could be 8 months. They don't have to be very big. Even when they're in the small juvenile form and still silver and not all colorful, they can still breed. And pretty good at breeding when they're younger too. And Lars K, my brother, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Great to see you in here as always, Lars, my brother. Always helping me out. Thank you. Alright, so let's give these guys some food. I mean, we got all these other tanks too we didn't even get to really look at. But last time we were looking over here, it did drop us off. I mean, shrimp. Look at this buche. That's a big buche for growing underwater. Growing buches underwater takes time. That's actually a pink flamingo. That's supposed to be a white Anubias, but it's not very white. Half beaks and shrimp living in here. Oh, there's Danikin Aquatics. He's in the chat. He's gonna be here in a couple weekends, which will be fun because I've been to his fish room. He's got a ton of tanks like I do, and it'll be great to have him over here. And hopefully he'll get some footage, or if he doesn't, I need to make a fish room tour video sometime because a lot has changed around here. Like, all the tanks have really filled in. I know my video for one of my last fish rooms that was fish room tours that was done like maybe 2 years ago is my top video now. And looking at it, like, a lot of these tanks have definitely matured and grown in. And it'd be a good way to just kind of keep you guys up to date on the progress of everything, because I haven't been the best at that. I mean, you can see here, though, proof's in the pudding. Everything's been pretty stable. This was the all-male Inler tank. Bunch doing good in there. I did have quite a few die off because Inlers and Guppies, they don't live that long. Tank is a few years old. So I'll have to start getting more males in there. That's that real rare Ferragina crypt. Get this underneath light. Gets purple and pink. Really cool plant. That was $100 a plant when I bought it. This mix of these guys. There's some cool ones in there. But yeah, everything's been doing good in here. But I'm going to have to hop off here. Oh, Fish Room Fever, I saw your sticker too. Thank you so much for your super chat sticker. Punchy Paints. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat. One of the most amazing artists I've seen. She does some amazing work. Says, what do you feed the fish? You know it, Punchy. Still on those tetra-colored tropical granules. These fish just love it. But thank you so much for the support. Appreciate you guys. I think that was the only one. Hopefully I didn't miss any others. I know Fish Room Fever sent that a while ago, so hopefully it's still on here. It was good having him over with Chattanooga Ed last weekend as well. Didn't get a whole lot of videos, but I think he is planning on coming back up to do that here someday. 3B Aquatics says, were you going to do an updated FERT video? So, I mean, if I did, it would be the same thing as the other video. But that's about how YouTube works, is if you ain't making one right then and there, then it's out of sight, out of mind. And us humans are definitely a species of amnesia. at times. It's more convenient to have that kind of stuff thrown in front of your face, but I don't know. It seems silly because I already made the video. Nothing has changed. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I haven't. There's probably a few things I could probably discuss, and as far as like different how I figure out how much to dose and stuff like that. Maybe I can make a video on that, telling you guys how I figure out how much I need to dose. And that would probably be helpful. Which really, you just got to think about your biomass, how much light you have, what type of plants you have, whether you have fast-growing plants, slow-growing plants, how they're going to uptake nutrients, if you got too much light for them or not enough, blah, 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 blah. And just really nutrient control. That's what it's all about. Keeping control of those nutrients. But I got to get the rest of these tanks fed because they're all starting to turn off. Man, that's a bummer. I got to get these guys going. I'm going to try to reverse engineer a Bloody Mary line from Blue Dreams. So this is from Blue Dream Coals. I'm going to try to re-engineer the Bloody Mary to see if I can get them more solid red than anybody else's. Because I know, like, I've seen a lot of, and been offered a lot of red Bloody Marys, but they usually tend to dull out after they breed. So I'm going to see if reverse engineering will help fix that. It should be interesting. There's quite a few projects going on here. And I will be sharing a lot of this here in the future. I just have not had time to video most of it for you guys quite yet. But soon, soon, soon. There's a bunch of baby Lucipennis, CPDs all growing out together. Nice combo, huh? Little babies. I need to get some of those on the side. I keep forgetting. We gotta find them new homes. And then, yeah, more in here. More going on here. This is all gonna come down at some point. I've been working out most of the fish out of there. I'm just on here until this thing kicks off. So if it kicks off, everybody, hope you all have a great weekend. If not, we're gonna keep looking at stuff. There's that sword from the 240. Here's a super rare, get them in Village rainbow fish. That thing's super duper rare. Trying to get some eggs and babies out of them too. I mean, they got a whole 75-gallon to do so. And if you guys remember, I used to have Exodon paradoxus. They used to live in here. Fish Room Fever now has those because I needed their tank for a setup for a fish fry system that's going into the garage. Now that's empty. I can get rid of this tank. But I always like the look of it. It's kind of like a desert scape just with some jungle in it, which is kind of backwards, jungle desert. But I think with the rock and the sand, I can't remember, what is that? Marsilia minuta, I think. That PG. That stuff's got algae on it though, so I can't sell that. Oh, of course, the Blue Dream and Fire Reds are off right now. I guess I could turn them off real quick, or turn them on. Boom. Oh, yeah, here's some Fire Reds. Fire Reds looking awful fiery red. More Fire Reds. You see their water is cloudy. Their water is like always cloudy. I think it's from the Driftwood. Something about shrimp and Driftwood, when they eat through it, it clouds up the tank. Something with the organics. But they don't care. They breed out like crazy. Blue Dreams. Tons and tons of Blue Dreams. Let's see if I can get it to focus without the light here. Let's see them all. Then you got a bunch of little seed shrimp too. They're nothing. Bam. Huge bronze crypt though. I gotta remove that. That thing is taking over. And these actually get more water changes. And yet they're still so cloudy. More Blue Dreams. Some koi guppies trying to get going. Yeah, lots of fish and shrimp and stuff, but I gotta hop off here. I gotta feed everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all have a great weekend. Until next time, everybody, peace. Have a great one. Thank you all so much for watching and for the support and for hitting the like button and for subscribing. Thank you. Till next time, everybody. Peace. Have a great one. Ba-do-boo, 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 ba-do-boo.